Today, I will tell you the story of this. How did it come about? It feels like holding a baby in my hands for the first time. Of course, everybody comes and celebrates the birth, but who talks about the conception? Well, let me tell you about the conception. She was sitting 8,000 kilometers away. And I was there sitting in the car, and she was talking and talking for at least 2 hours. And I was listening, listening intently. Once in a while, I would interject to some clever comment, and I would listen even some more. So you probably wonder why it took for so long. Because we both saw a WhatsApp status, and somebody we both know, unfortunately, had passed on. And that's how we know about things these days. WhatsApp, social media, a lot of things come to us that way. And we just heard somebody we both know, fortunately, passed on. So we were reminiscing. We had been separated for a long time. We knew each other when we were young, and now she's living 8,000 kilometers away. What's happening? How's life? And it's always interesting to watch the emojis whenever a status comes up. We know the celebrations, and maybe a child was born or somebody has graduated, and we get different emojis on WhatsApp. And we had the tear emoji, and we were talking. But after you talk for 2 hours, you actually realize, oh, by the way, I didn't know this about you, and I didn't know that about you. What happened? Why didn't you ever tell me? Eventually, we reached a conclusion of our long conversation. And I said, you will not die before your story get told. We must write a book about it. And she said, I've already started. And I said, how wonderful. So I didn't have to do any convincing. The project was born. And that was the conception. And now we're celebrating the birth of the book. I know most of you are a bit not as excited as the other types of conceptions, immaculate or not. But sometimes the sad news reminds us of what's our legacy, what are we leaving behind. And I think that's what the book talks about. And of course, the back page always gives you a bit of a taste of what's in the book. A bit of a typical South African story. And let me read out the back page for you. It started when Joy's hands were small and his hands were mature. A caress here and a strike there. And a life that almost ended. Some people might ask, is there a reason for such a thing? And we read about it in the newspaper, we hear about it, but is there a reason for it? Some people say everything exists for a reason. Maybe it does. But what Joy did, the character in the book, went on her knees, prayed and prayed again, eventually got help from very unexpected sources. Maybe that angel in disguise, maybe that friend, or somebody made a comment and somebody gave a tip, somebody connected her to help. Rescue came from what she believes is the power from up above. Her prayers were answered. And now she has been rescued. She's living a great life in her new location. But it left me quite in an interesting state My gray hair is hinting at my own mortality. And we ask ourselves the questions: my hands, what will I do with them? Her hands, what will she do with them? Your hands, what will you do with them? And when that time comes, and sometimes there's no warning for it, what will people put on your status, on that status that announces your imminent departure? Will it be the, I call it the vuvuzela emoji? So will people in South Africa start ringing that trumpet? Good riddance. Oh, thanks God it's gone. And we've had cases where very famous gangster in South Africa, the celebration and the speeches were very candid, and people were, I could say, figuratively and maybe literally, were blowing the vuvuzela to celebrate the departure of some of those people. Or is it something that everybody would rather have? Genuine sadness and people really, really missing you and looking at the legacy you've left behind. Your hands, what will you do with it? You could be dancing and playing a piano or anything else. So come and discover her hands. What will she do with it? Are there any lessons in the pages of the book that you can take with you, that you can learn and make a difference? My hands, what will I do with it? Your hands, what will you do with it? Her hands, what will she do with it?